Hi and welcome to the Sugar Hero channel. I'm Elizabeth LeBeau and today I'm going to show you how to make the best caramel sauce you have ever tasted. It's thick, it's rich, it's dark brown from all the caramelized sugar. It's good enough to eat on its own, but it's also great on ice cream, cakes, brownies, truly any dessert. For this recipe, I recommend using a candy thermometer. This might seem a little fiddly, but it's really gonna get you the most consistent results. If you're familiar with candy thermometers, if you use them regularly, skip ahead about a minute, otherwise hang around for a couple quick tips. Maybe it's the sugar lover in me, but I firmly believe every kitchen should have a candy thermometer. It doesn't have to cost you a lot of money. You can get one like this, it's sometimes called a candy/deep fry thermometer, from your local grocery store for about $10. If you find you're making candy a lot and you want to invest a little more in a digital one, these are two that I love. They're both by ThermoWorks. They'll last you forever. I'll put a link to these down below. The most important tip I can give you for using a candy thermometer is that you should test it regularly. Candy thermometers over time lose accuracy. Sometimes right out of the box, they're not even calibrated correctly. And if you live at a high altitude, you'll have to make some adjustments anyway, and testing your thermometer will let you know what adjustments you need to make. So start by bringing a pot of water to a boil and insert your candy thermometer. Let it sit there about a minute and then take your reading. Water boils at 212 degrees Fahrenheit at sea level, so that's the number to keep in mind when you look at your thermometer. If it says 212, congratulations, perfect, go on with your recipe. But if it says a different number, you're going to have to keep that difference in mind with the temperatures we talk about today. For instance, if your thermometer says 204 degrees, that is a difference of 8 degrees from that 212 number, and that's kind of your personal adjustment number. You're gonna subtract 8 degrees from every temperature I reference in this recipe today. That takes into account the altitude you're at or whatever's going on with your personal thermometer. If you subtract that 8 degrees, you're gonna be sure that you're cooking it as much as it needs to be without overcooking it. Hopefully that makes sense. If not, let me know in the comments and I can try and clear it up for you. It's really good to do this test regularly, especially if you go long periods between using your thermometer. And if you find that it starts to give you some really wacky numbers, then you know it's time to replace it. One last note, you wanna make sure that the bulb of your thermometer, that's the part that reads the temperature, it's either an actual bulb or the probe if you're using a probe style thermometer, is fully submerged in the candy but not touching the bottom of the pan. That'll get you the most accurate reading. That's everything you need to know, so grab your thermometer and let's do this. Start by combining a 1/4 cup of water, a 1/2 cup of light corn syrup, and 2 cups of granulated sugar in a medium saucepan and place it over medium heat. Stir well so that all the sugar dissolves, then take a wet pastry brush and brush down the sides of the pan to remove any sugar crystals. These stray sugar crystals on the side can encourage other sugar crystals to form, and that's what makes your caramel sauce grainy. Once the sugar starts to boil, stop stirring completely and insert your candy thermometer. Let the syrup continue to cook until it smells like deliciously caramelized sugar and is a medium amber color. You're looking for between 340 and 350 on your thermometer. But you don't just want to rely on the temperature. You should also check the color of the caramel as it cooks. To get a really deep caramel flavor, you want to cook it until it's a toasty amber color. If you stop when it's a light yellow color, your sauce will be pale and not as flavorful. One tip, if you're finding it hard to see the color of the candy as it cooks, keep a small white plate near the stove and drop a small spoonful of caramel onto the plate occasionally, so you can easily see the color changes and get it to the shade you want. Once your sugar reaches the right temperature and that gorgeous caramel color, carefully add 12 ounces of room temperature cream, 4 ounces of butter, and 1 teaspoon of salt. Stand back when you add these because the cream will cause the caramel to splutter and steam. Stir well while everything mixes together, then continue to cook it, and this time you can stir regularly until the caramel sauce reaches about 232 degrees Fahrenheit. This will probably take another 5 to 8 minutes. Finally, remove the pan from the heat and stir in 1 teaspoon of vanilla extract. Let the caramel cool until it's warm but not hot before using it. Once it's completely at room temperature, you can transfer it to a jar or other container and keep it in the refrigerator for up to 2 weeks. Once you taste this, you will never go back to store-bought. It is such an easy way to upgrade any dessert from cheesecake to ice cream to brownies. It's so good. Give it a try and let me know what you think. Thank you so much for watching. Be sure to like and subscribe for more fun dessert recipes. Happy eating!